Welcome back to another video that nobody asked for. I'm Sarah, and today I'm going to be talking about Glee. Specifically, my qualms with Glee as a theater kid. So before I filmed this video, I didn't actually know what qualm meant, and upon editing, I decided to look it up and found out that I've been misusing it this entire video. So pretend I say grievance. Thanks. So basically, I'm going to be complaining about Rachel Berry for however long this video is. My first problema with Glee as a theater kid is Rachel not knowing that Cats was off Broadway for 12 years. So in season 2, they go to nationals in New York. Yay that. Rachel goes and buys them all tickets to go see Cats. And Quinn informs her that Cats has been off Broadway for 12 years. Tell me why Rachel Berry, the girl who lives, eats, and breathes musical theater, didn't know that. That didn't make any sense. Now, if it was Finn or Puck, that would have made complete sense. Like, honestly, truly, this should have been Finn or Puck to have done that, and then Rachel or Kurt correct them. But the fact that Rachel made that mistake made absolutely, positively no sense. So our next issue with Glee, musical theater-wise, is Rachel wanting to be Maria, or Rachel wanting the Maria solo in season 1. They sing Tonight from West Side Story, and Mr. Shu gives Tina the Maria solo, and then, Rachel starts off, because she's like, I deserve this solo, and then she goes on to say that the actress who played Maria, Natalie Wood, who played Maria in the original movie, was Jewish. And who cares that Natalie Wood was Jewish, because guess what, sweetheart? The character is Puerto Rican. She's not Jewish. The only reason why Natalie Wood got that part is because they weren't trying to give a Hispanic girl that part, because they were racist back then, because the movie was made in the 60s. They gave it to a white girl and made her do a poor excuse of a Hispanic accent, just like they did for most of the Hispanic characters in that movie. The guy who played Bruno, also white, they just put some brown face on him. They even put brown face on the Hispanic actors. So the fact that Mr. Shu didn't say, hey, Maria's actually Hispanic, so I think as a white girl maybe you should sit this one out, is ridiculous. And yes, we know that Tina's Asian, she's not Hispanic either, but still, I'd rather have a person of color playing that role than a white person. So our next qualm with Glee is that Rachel wanted to be on Broadway for her entire life, yet her first actual musical was West Side Story, her senior year of high school. Now, I'm not saying that a person has to do theater since they were 2 to be on Broadway. That's just ridiculous, because there's a lot of people who get started in certain things later in life before they make it big. Rachel's whole world is musical theater. Like I mentioned before, she lives, eats, breathes musical theater. So the fact that she hadn't been in a musical theater production until West Side Story didn't make any sense. And how I know this is because season 3, episode 1, Purple Piano Project, when her and Kurt are crying in the car after seeing the Gerber baby perform, they talk about how she's never been in a musical theater production. I'm like, wait, hold up, really? That doesn't even make any sense. How does she not have any musical theater credits to her name? Like, first of all, she's extremely talented, so the fact that she's never been in a musical doesn't really make any sense. Cabaret in season 1, and then Rocky Horror ended up not happening. Otherwise, those would have been her first shows. The way she acts, you would have thought she would have done stuff since she was a kid. She literally says in the first episode, I've been taking dance lessons, vocal lessons, acting lessons since I could walk. My dad did this to give me a competitive edge. Like, with her having all this training and all this talent, they should have at least done one show before her senior year of high school. I don't know. That just makes zero sense to me. My next qualm is Rachel getting Fanny right after high school. Now, it's not impossible for somebody to get a lead on Broadway that quickly. It's just really unrealistic. And also, I'm kind of jealous. I think it's mostly just me being jealous. Let's be real, because I could never! Maybe. Let's move on. My next poem actually has to do with Rachel's audition for Funny Girl. When you're auditioning for a musical theater show, you should sing a song that's either from the show, in the style of the show, or in the style of the character that you're auditioning for. She sings Don't Stop Believing, which doesn't fit any of that criteria. I don't understand. If I was sitting at the audition table, I would have been like, she sounds beautiful, but why are you singing this soft rock song? It's rock, right? I have no idea. I don't listen to rock like that. Why are you singing this rock song to audition for a classical musical? To piggyback off of that, at her callback, she sings Celine Dion. Now that definitely fits the show more than Don't Stop Believing, but usually at callbacks, I don't know, you sing a song from the show, specifically the character that you're being called back for. And obviously she's being called back for Fanny Bryce, so you would think that she would sing, I don't know, a Fanny Bryce song. Make it make sense! Oh my gosh. My next poem is also with Fanny Bryce. Now this is less of a theater thing and more of just a very disappointed viewer thing. The fact that she didn't sing Don't Rain on My Parade when she was playing Fanny Bryce hurt my spirit. That hurt my spirit. I don't understand why they decided that was okay to do. It wasn't okay. In fact, what they should have done is they should have had her sing Don't Rain on My Parade, the episode of opening night, and then had it flash back to when she sang it during season 1 sectionals, and then have them sing together. That would have been so beautiful. That would have been stellar, amazing, tear-jerking,
legendary,
impeccable. But no, they don't even have her sing Don't Rain on My Parade, which is despicable. And Ryan Murphy, I have a problem with you for doing that. I have a problem with you. I have beef with you. Next, our next qualm is, why did Santana get the understudy? First of all, Santana and Rachel are not in the same voice type. Granted, Santana's audition was stellar, amazing, beautiful, but again, it's a classical theater piece, so her singing it in that rendition, as beautiful as it was, did not fit the show, and she doesn't really have the voice or really the look for Fanny. I'm not saying that every understudy has to look exactly like the woman playing the show, definitely not, but you kind of have to look the part, and she definitely didn't look like a Fanny Bryce, so she wasn't the right voice type or the right acting type. So I mean, I know they did it to create drama, but my next poem is also with the whole understudy thing. First of all, why was Rachel there? Where's Rachel at the auditions for the understudy? And two, typically understudies are cast at the same time as the rest of the cast, so the understudy gets cast along with the leads. So why they were doing understudy casting after regular casting had already been done did not make any sense. Understudy casting, I looked it up. I looked it up to make sure I was right. Even on Broadway, they do understudy casting at the same time as they cast the rest of the cast. So why they were doing it after Rachel had already gotten Fanny Bryce didn't make any sense to me. My next qualm is, how come Rachel and Kurt didn't know that Juilliard didn't have a musical theater program? I mean, like I have to reiterate over and over and over again, that these people love musical theater. They've loved musical theater their entire lives, yet they didn't do any research into the school they wanted to go to for musical theater. How much sense does that even make? So they never decided to look up Juilliard's musical theater program or any of their programs. And also they didn't have a backup school. It was just Niagara or bust. You know, what about NYU? What about Carnegie Mellon? What about all the other schools that have amazing musical theater programs? Why didn't they look into those? So my next qualm is, how come Carmen Thibodeau decided to travel the country to different high schools for the auditions? If anything, it should have been the other way around. Like, isn't Carmen Thibodeau a very busy woman? How come she's out here flying all across the country to watch a bunch of high schoolers sing? They couldn't do video auditions. They couldn't come to her. I just didn't get that. I really didn't. That was weird. The fact that Rachel got a do-over audition, that was fair. Also, the fact that Rachel got into Niata over Kurt. Now I understand Rachel's supposed to win, but still, there are other schools that have great musical theater programs that are in New York. So, and my last, but certainly not least, musical theater qualm with Glee is when Artie told Rachel and Blaine that they had to do it in order to play Maria and Tony in West Side Story post-coitus. That was so dumb. He wasn't telling Blaine that he had to murder one of his relatives or murder one of Rachel's relatives so he could accurately play Tony murdering Maria's brother. And the fact that the adults just scurried out of the room was ridiculous, especially the way that Emma was all fighting for season 2. While Emma Pillsbury was married to John Stamos' character, she was trying to be like, yeah, virginity's great, and they revamped the virginity club or whatnot. The way she was all preachy about that, you would think that she would have stepped in that episode and said, there's nothing wrong with being a virgin. You don't have to have sex to actively play this role. The fact that they ran away was kind of pathetic. And I understand it made sense for their characters, but still. So that's all I have for today. If you didn't hate this video, you can like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!